Do you think Ant-Man gets jealous of her wings? Alright guys, so we're back with another Superhero 101, and this time we're talking about the Wasp, because what? Ant-Man and the Wasp comes out on Friday, and I like to be relevant. Now the thing is, we're going to talk about the Wasp, but in the movie, the Wasp is held by Hope Van Dyne, which is Hank Pym's daughter, and Janet Van Dyne's daughter. However, we're going to talk about the Janet Van Dyne version of the Wasp, and why are we going to do that? I'll tell you later. Yeah, you gotta stick through the video, or I guess you could skip ahead, but you're not going to do that. You're going to watch the whole thing, because I trust you and I love you. Thank you. Now, the Wasp first appeared in Tales to Astonish number 44 in June of 1963. Fun fact, the Wasp is one of the founding members of the Avengers, appearing in the first issue and actually suggesting the name. Now, let's talk about where Janet's story begins, and that is as the socialite daughter of scientist Vernon Van Dyne. And when an alien entity unleashed from one of Vernon's experiments kills him, Janet turns to Hank Pym for his assistance in avenging her father. With the help of Hank Pym as Ant-Man and some of his tech with her, she is able to defeat the alien entity and avenge her father. And Janet decides to remain as the Wasp and help Hank Pym because she now has feelings for him. Now, the Wasp's abilities are very similar to that of Ant-Man's, with the ability to shrink and grow, shrink down to centimeters, grow up to several hundred feet. Now, I think the Wasp has some powers that honestly put Ant-Man to shame, as she has some translucent insect wings that grow out of her upon shrinking. She also has bioelectric blasts that she shoots out of her hands that are often referred to as her stingers. And much like Ant-Man, she has telepathic insect control via antennas that grow out of her forehead. Now, I would like to note that some of Janet's powers, such as the antenna or the growing to extreme sizes, she generally only does in emergencies, and she rarely uses it because she prefers to, just use her other powers. She doesn't really like to do those much. Now, another note about Janet's powers is that most of them are originally able to be used because of the Pym particle, which is given to her by Hank Pym, and that's how she's able to grow and shrink. However, due to prolonged exposure to it, she's able to grow and shrink at will, and a lot of her other powers are just be able to be used without having to have the Pym particle anymore. As far as teams and allies go, of course, she is partners of the one and only Ant-Man, as most of you probably could guess. However, she has also been a part of the Avengers, obviously, as she is one of the founding members, and the Uncanny Avengers. Now, as far as villains and enemies go, she has very similar ones to Ant-Man, obviously, as their partners, but she does have a few of note, such as Porcupine, Egghead, and Whirlwind. Okay, so now I would like to talk about the movies and kind of, how they're going with that, right? Okay, so the movie's kind of dividing the character, as I'm sure you can guess, in that Janet Van Dyne was obviously the original Wasp, working with Hank Pym when he was Ant-Man, and then, she had to go subatomic in order to stop that missile, and then, now there's no real definitive answer as to where she is as far as Hank Pym is concerned. However, they're going to try to get her in the upcoming movie, but Hank Pym's decided to pass along the Wasp mantle to his daughter, Hope Van Dyne, which, that's fine. However, the Hope Van Dyne aspect is a little weird because while she has been the Wasp in some comics, she's most notably known for becoming the villain Red Queen. But, I understand why they're going this way with the movies, because it's Scott Lang's Ant-Man, and you don't really want Janet Van Dyne to be with Scott Lang, because that's not really how the comics do it. Comics have Scott Lang's Ant-Man with Stinger a lot of times, but Stinger is his daughter, and she's kind of young in the movies. So, Hope Van Dyne's fine. Seems like most of the powers are the same, but either way, now you know a little bit more about the Wasp. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, a comment, and a subscribe to me, because I would very much appreciate it. And I think that's about all I got for you guys, so Let me know which superhero you want to see next, and I'll see you next time.